third day of the Tropentag 2020. Welcome to the poster session of the postgraduate course Food Chains in Agriculture of the University of Applied Science Weinstefan Driesdorf, and in cooperation with the GIZ, funded in a project from the EMZ, the Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation, German Federal Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation. And today we have a tough program. We have 1 hour and we have 12 presenters of their study project established in the postgraduate course in 2018, 19, and 20. And this is really, really, really nice that we have from all 3 years since the establishment of the course participants, and we can have a look or listen to what they did in the course and how what they already reached with their study projects from 2018 on. And due to the high number of participants, we have the following format. We have some videos. We have some poster presentations already via video, and we stream them all what we have. And this means that we have 10 presentations already in video format, and we start now with 5 of them, and then we have another 5, and then in the end we have 2 presentations. They will be orally given from the presenters, and this is in the end the last ones are Gift from Zambia and Solomon from Ghana, which are presenting live. And after this, we hope that we have some minutes left for discussion. So in between, there will be no discussion. And please, if you have questions, raise the questions via WOFA, and we try to answer all the questions which are coming up during the presentations. Okay, we start now with Frederic Leroy from Togo, and he's talking about improving soybean cake trading through avian production. Afterwards, George Asare is presenting, and then Hivot Ayele from Ethiopia, then Emanuela Soro from Côte d'Ivoire, and then Mesgebo Ainalem from Ethiopia. Okay, and we will see us in some minutes again. Enjoy the presentations.
Good morning, all participants to 2020 Tropentag conference. My name is Frederic Leroy Abalo, and my poster is about my study project, which title is Improving Soybean Cake Trading Through Avian Production. Can say that in Togo, 60 to 70% of our active population rely on agriculture, and soybean is one of the most important crops we grow in Togo, and we are the first exporter of organic soybean in West Africa. So there are some enterprises which are processing that soybean in oil. So after processing it, we have the byproduct, which is soybean cake. But the processors are facing some marketing issue, although we have a big market related to poultry production or in general animal production. So in the value chain, the soybean cake value chain, our actors are not capable to assess the nutritional value of their product, and there are also a lack of awareness on poultry sector side. We also have in our poultry sector an issue which is the high feed costs, which increase the cost of production. So our study project aims to address that problem through two approaches. One is the business approach, uh, where we can provide services in soybean cake and some feed analysis. Also provide some service in feed formulation for farmers through training, but also collect some soybean cake produced locally, package it with label and sell it. We also have some facilitation approach, maybe with GIZ, to organize actors, but also to facilitate some workshops between actors. So our study project objectives are to improve soybean marketing for more income and employment, but also to improve profitability in poultry sector, so through feed cost reduction. So we have in the middle of the poster, we have our problem tree, the problem tree of our soybean cake marketing. It is not exhaustive, but we we put it to give some information about the problems they face. So the implementation steps of our study project is to first mapping our soybean cake value chain. After that, evaluate the volume of soybean cake they produce and also the market demand on the poultry producers side. After that, we will refine our business idea and seek for some funding. After that, we will profile our soybean cake through our equipment we will get with our funds. After that, we will advertise processors about our services and also facilitate some organization. After that, we can also undertake some experiment to elaborate key technical domain to prove that the use of soybean cake in poultry feed will not reduce the production. The possible risks of our project is that actors are not well organized and their involvement in the process will be difficult, but also some difficulty to get funds for all equipment because they are expensive. The expected outcomes for our study project is that soybean cake marketing is improved, the volume they will sold will increase because the market is big, but because of lack of information we don't have this linkage because between all actors, and it is a big problem. It's also to improve the use of soybean cake in poultry feed production, increase profitability of our poultry farm through the reduction of feed costs, but also improve linkages and confidence between actors. So that is the aim of our study project, and our poster is about that. Thank you for your attention.
Facing a small problem, but we hope we start soon with George, with the presentation of George Asare, Income and Employment Opportunities through Cashew Apple Processing in Ghana.
Everyone, my name is George Opare Asari, working on the project Income and Employment Opportunities through cashew apple processing. Cashew is a very important sector in Africa. In 2018, we produced about 57% of the total volume of cashews in the world. This makes Africa a dominant area when we talk of cashews. However, only the nuts have economic value. The apples usually go to waste in Africa, so we are yet to harness this opportunity. Coming to Ghana, we recently produced about 90,000 metric tons of cashew apples, and we are projecting to, in 10 years' time, we'll be producing about 400,000. And what this means is that all the cashew apples from these 400,000 tons will go waste. So I see an opportunity here, because in the Western world, we have people generating marmalade, jams, candies, and juices from cashew apples. Meanwhile, down here, we are not doing that. This is something I'm seeing that we can do it here in Africa. So I want to set up a social enterprise where we will be developing these products. The main strategy is that we want to train women on how to process cashew apples, and of course also process it ourselves. Now, we will not just give them technical skills, but we'll also give them entrepreneurial skills. And through donor funding, we can help them set up these businesses. This is my main idea that I want to carry across. Yes, I know there might be some risk, because there is this risk that when you consume cashew apples, it might cause you some health problem and it is poisonous, and we need to take away that misconception. So once through public education and awareness creation, I'm able to clear that, then people can buy these cashew apple products. Of course, another risk is that it's a new product, and consumer acceptance might take some time. But I believe that with consistent advertisement, I'll be able to overcome that. These projects that I want to embark on, I think it is very, very viable, because at the end of the day, it is going to help farmers to increase their incomes, because now they are only getting income from the nuts and their incomes are very low. So once they are able to get income from the apples, then we will be improving their incomes. Two, we are going to create jobs for those that work within those communities, because we'll be able to generate more products that people would be buying and people will be processing. Again, we are going to improve the nutritional conditions of these rural folks, and of course those of us in the urban folks who will also be consuming the product. Cashew apples have 5 times the vitamin C of oranges, so it's a very good source of vitamin C. And I believe that once we start consuming cashew apples, whether in juice or candy or jams, we are really going to improve our nutrition. I see this as a good opportunity we really need to embark on. And I'm quite optimistic that this is going to help us holistically. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Yota Baina from Hawassa University, Ethiopia. I'm one of the participants of the postgraduate training course on food chains in agriculture 2018 at Vice Stefan Trisdorf University of Applied Science. It is my pleasure to participate on Tropentag online conference 2020. I would like to make a brief presentation on green people energy for Africa, a domestic biogas to improve rural livelihood project, which is a 2-year project running from October 2019 to September 2021. And the donor of the project is BMZ, which allocated a grant amount of around 176,000 euros. And the project is implemented by Hawassa University in collaboration with major stakeholders like GIZ and water, mines and energy office at different levels. The major objective of the project is to improve rural livelihood through construction of domestic biogas plant, and the specific objective of the project includes improve access to clean energy, reducing workload for women and girls, improving health status, especially for women and children, promoting use rural entrepreneurship in the biogas sector, and improving soil fertility, which contributes to increased agricultural productivity. In order to achieve these objectives, the project has identified and is implementing the following key interventions. The first one is project startup activities, which include conducting preliminary site survey, inception workshop, baseline survey, and community awareness raising campaign. Currently, these activities have been successfully completed. And the second one is domestic biogas plant construction. This intervention includes specific activities like targeting households for biogas plant construction, training on biogas use management and related issues, and site selection on biogas construction and resource mobilization, and finally, the construction of the biogas plant for the project beneficiaries. The third major activity is market and capacity development intervention, which imply supporting market linkages for biogas appliance suppliers and providing business skill development and entrepreneurship skill training for biogas appliance suppliers and mass owners. And the fourth major activity is strengthening after action support activity. These are interventions aimed at creating sustainable system in the biogas sector, and the key project intervention planned include TOT training for TBT staff, vocational training for local masons and private business owners, and capacity building for local government institutions. And the last one is project administration, monitoring, and evaluation, which include follow-up visit to the project district site and beneficiaries, conduct biannual review meeting with stakeholders, produce progress report and success stories, and conducting end-line evaluation. And thank you very much for your attention.
My name is Emanuela from Côte d'Ivoire, and I'm going to present you an abstract of my project whose title is Implementation of a Processing Unit of Cashew into a Spreading Cream in Côte d'Ivoire. The economy of my country is essentially based on agriculture, particularly on exporting raw materials. Because of this orientation, there is a value leakage because we don't add value to our crops. In addition, because of the low level of processing, there is no secure outlet, and the country strongly depends on exports. Finally, conservation problems oblige the producers to sell their product at a loss in order to try to avoid enormous losses. More and more initiatives are multiplying to make up this deficiency, but much remains to be done. In our project, we are particularly interested in the cashew value chain. If you don't know, Côte d'Ivoire is the world's leading producer of cashew, but only 9% of our production is processed. And in 2020, the sector has had losses of $300,000, and we think that increasing the level of processing is a good way to improve this value chain. The objective of our project are to find an internal outlet for cashew in Côte d'Ivoire, to contribute to increase the level of processing of cashew, to push Ivorians to consume cashew as we are the world's leading producer. The results of our SWOT analysis are that, example of strength, we have a high production, so ease of supply. As weakness, we can have a lack of experience, and as opportunity, we have an availability of technical and financial partners to support the improvement of the sector. As strength, we can have, for example, political instability. The possible risks that we can have for the project are The lack of support or the presence of allergen in the product that can also reduce the consumer base. For the implementation steps, we identify these ones: the development of the project, the linkage to partner, the constitution of the capital, the declaration to the Center for Investment in Côte d'Ivoire, the acquisition of production equipment, the purchase of raw materials and ingredients. Then we can launch the activity. The expected costs are divided in 3 groups. The first one is the registration and administrative costs that are 300 euros. The investment cost 5,000 euros, and the operating cost 2,000 euros. The expected outcome are a creation of a processing unit of cashew. The final product is a cashew spreading cream that will be sold to the local population, mainly through distribution channels and also outside the country. Thank you for your attention.
I'm Mazgab from Ethiopia. Poster presentation, the title on enhancing wheat production and productivity through an integrated agricultural technology. When it comes to introduction part, Ethiopia is one of the developing countries in the world with subsistence agricultural economy. Large number of population is living under poverty line, which daily per capita income is less than $1. Ethiopia is the second wheat producing country in Africa following Egypt, but this agricultural product is fluctuate from year to year because the agriculture sector is not support improving technology. Wheat is an important market-oriented commodity and major source of income for many farmers in Ethiopia. It is crucial for improving their life and food security of developing countries. Despite it is important, there are many challenges. That is lack of market information, low quality of inputs used, weak market linkage, weak use of technology, low bargaining power for producers, and post-harvest losses. When it comes to objective, the major objective of this project is to enhance wheat production and productivity through integrated agricultural technology in Ethiopia. Specifically, to enhance adoption and adaptation of different integrated agricultural technology, to link smallholder farmers with market survival chains and market development, to reduce post-harvest losses, and to increase wheat production and productivity by implementing integrated agricultural technology. When it comes to problem tree analysis, there is cause, problems, and effects. The part of cause, for example, inadequate of fertilizer is a cause of poor soil fertility. Lack of technology and poor access to information is a cause of low use of improved technology. All these causes, that means poor soil fertility, low use of improved technology, and partiality of the product is cause of focal points. That means low wheat productivity. Low wheat productivity is a cause of food insecurity and low income. Finally, the household is poor. When it comes to possible risks, there are different possible risks for in this project. First is risk aversion behavior for farmers to accept their way of introducing technologies. For road transportation, grievance of farmers rise in the societies burgeoning belongs the project, occurrence of the pests, problem of markets, and other budget imbalances. All these possible risks are alleviated by different mitigation points. There are to give different or continuous training for the farmers. When it comes to a cost, the expected cost of this project is 76,620 euro. Finally, final point is expected outcome. The expected outcome of this project is, the first is to reduce post-harvest losses. Second, enhance adoption and adaptation of different integrated agricultural technology. Third, improve awareness in smallholders on integrated agriculture technology, 4, create market linkage between producers and different market agents, finally, to increase wheat production and productivity in the study area. Thank you very much. If there is any donors or supporters to support such type of project, you can communicate by emails or phones. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Ms. Kepo, for the presentation, and thank you to all the other 5 presenters for the first round of presentations. Due to our tough schedule, we have not a possibility to start a big discussion now. So I have a look on WOFA. There is no question right now to the 5 presentations in the beginning, but I want to motivate you, if to the listeners via YouTube, via the YouTube channel, if there are questions to this study project, to this research projects which are already ongoing, please use the question answer possibilities via WOFA and communicate to the presenters. All questions will be answered short after the poster session. And now we go on with the 6th presentation. It's from Yusra in Tunisia, and then Famosa will present, Joshua from Nigeria, and Minnie from Togo, and Ruth from Togo. And these are the next block, 5 presenters coming now up with the videos already recorded last week.
Hello to everyone. I am Yusra from Tunisia, and I am an agriculture engineer specializing in crop protection. I'd like to share with you through this poster my startup idea, which is about producing parasite wheat for olive fruit fly pest management in Tunisia. As it's well known, Tunisia is the most important African country in the field of olive oil production and export after the European Union. But despite its comfortable place on the international market, unit prices of olive oil are largely unfavorable to Tunisia compared to its main competitors. Actually, residues of pesticides in Tunisian olive oil are the main obstacle to the creation of value in the export sector. So, in this context, the startup Oliacare offers an eco-friendly method to manage the most serious olive tree pest through inoculative releases of its parasite weed. The objectives of this startup are, first of all, to reduce reliance on pesticides in olive growing sector, then to improve biological control techniques of olive fruit fly, and finally to contribute to the development of organic olive oil value chain in Tunisia. As you can see below, we have the problematry of the extensive use of pesticides for olive fruit fly control, and one of its major causes is the non-availability of parasite weed of olive fruit fly in the national market as alternative to pesticides. Actually, that's where did the startup idea come from. For this startup, there are some possible risks, such as the difficulty to transport the parasite weed to the place of intervention, the difficulty of its storage, and there is a high variability in the parasitism rate. In order to establish this startup, we have to follow some steps, such as the evaluation of organic olive growing market in Tunisia, to choose a co-founder, to develop a business plan, to pick a workplace, to find a mentor, and finally to raise a capital in order to launch the startup. For expected outcomes, I would say that Tunisian agriculture policies are favorable to the establishment of this project, such as government's commitment to promote biological control for olive fruit fly management, the growing importance for organic olive production across the country, and the fact that the majority of the organic land in Tunisia is dedicated for growing olives, and there is a law on organic farming was enacted and the Bio-Tunisia label was created. I hope that my project idea was clear enough for you, and thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Famusa Dembele. I come from Mali. My project title is Beyond a Sustainable Inclusive Business Model for Rural Communities through Biogas Technology in Mali. The country is facing several challenges currently. When you look at the primary energy consumption of the country, 80% of this amount is coming from biomass and 16% from fossil fuel, 4% from renewable energy. This 80% is mainly firewood and charcoal. So that's actually one of the reasons I decided to come up with this idea of introducing a farming system centered around the biogas technology to improve the living condition of rural communities in Mali. And the system will help the rural and per-urban communities have different revenue streams through selling of biofertilizer and also the stored biogas which they can use for cooking, and they can also sell it, and or they can also use it to boost the crop yields and increase sanitation condition. The objective of this project is to increase the adoption of biogas technology in the rural communities, which will then reduce the cost associated with cooking fuel and chemical fertilizers and provide clean environment, quality air, and good health, especially for women and youth, and it's empower women and improve their social status. Actually, the biogas system is not a new concept in Mali. It has existed about 20 years ago. Unfortunately, the adoption of this system is now the problem. So I'm trying to increase the adoption, and mostly this system that was installed were introduced through projects, and most of them were not really responding to the need of the customers, and also there were poor advertisement, so people are not aware of the benefit of the technology. So those are the points I'll be focusing to improve and increase the adoption of the technology. And after the implementation of the project, the expected outcome is that a community will have a biogas system or several biodigesters where they can use different waste coming from animal waste, cooking, food waste, water waste, and agricultural waste. All those waste will be used in the biodigesters and produce the gas and the bioslurry. So this biogas and the bioslurry, there are two main options, and the bioslurry can be used in the crop to improve the yield or sold to neighboring communities and also have different revenue streams. And the gas will be used either by the family, which will then reduce the cost, and or can be sold to the neighboring household. And as at now, the project implementation steps, ideally I'll be really starting implementing this project hopefully from December, January going, because I was trying to get more knowledge on the system, to know and have the technical skill on how to install and maintain, and also the entrepreneurship aspect of the biogas technology. So that's actually what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much. Bye.
My name is Apochi Joshua Apochi. My topic is on improving agricultural extension service by formation of private extension group for sustainability of agricultural innovations in Nigeria. Agricultural extension service has the potency of creating jobs for youth and is also key to adoption and sustainability of innovations. Year in, year out, there's always retirement of public extension workers without replacement. In the past 2 decades, there have not been any replacement or recruitment of public extension workers in Benue State, Nigeria. Rice is one of the most consumed products one of the most consumed cereals in Nigeria. It accounts for about 7 million metric ton in 2019 consumed. However, Nigeria rice production is not meeting up to the demand for the consumption in Nigeria. So we still depend on importation of rice in order to feed the over 170 million Nigerians. Now the objective of this project is to improve the agricultural extension service in Nigeria rice value chain, to create employment opportunities for youth, and also to support adoption and sustainability of innovations. Now, a look at the problem tree. What is the major problem? We have low involvement of youth in agricultural extension service. What leads to the low involvement of youth in agricultural extension service? Inconsistent government policies, poor funding of the public extension service, and we also have limited recruitment. And even if there's going to be an opportunity for recruitment, it becomes politicized. Now, these things lead to the low youth engagement in agricultural extension services, especially in the public agricultural extension service. Now, if these youths are not involved, you look at it that there's going to be low adoption and sustainability of innovation, because most of the adults who are involved in public extension service are of age, and with time they will retire. And most of the ADP offices in the states are closed down already because they have insufficient staffs, and also lead to insecurity. On the other hand, you look at it, when there is high rate of unemployment, there are a lot of graduates of agriculture on ground. When there is high rate of unemployment, it leads to low income generation for the youths, and also leads to increase in crime rate. Now, what are the possible risks that involve in this? We have funding, the competition from public extension service, and stable common policy. Now, how do I think I want to implement this? I want to implement it by formation of team. I form a team, then build their capacity, then have link with some companies in which you can sign MOU and contract with them, then we'll kickstart. Then I have the cost in between. Then what are my expected outcomes? To create job, timely and appropriate extension service, and also to increase the adoption rate of the innovations, and to also sustain innovations in Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
My name is Mini Foley. I'm food processing engineer and entrepreneur. The poster we present is about the contribution of a small-scale African leafy vegetable processing unit for a more resilient future of women gardener in Togo. African leafy vegetables are outstanding source of micronutrients in the world. The increasing consumption of this leaf across Africa is because people have been recently awarded health protecting attributes to the compound they have, such as vitamin, calcium, and iron. In Togo, the gardeners are deficient in the strategy on processing excess products. So last year, for instance, we lost the half of our vegetable produced. This year, with the restrict movement in most West African countries and inside of the country because of COVID-19, many markets for fresh food are closed. This impacts more gardeners which have difficulty to sell their product and are even forced to throw the leafy vegetable due to their perishable nature. Looking at women gardeners more closely become a necessity due to their principal role in the production of this leafy vegetable and the poverty situation generated by the crisis. Within the frame of a contribution that seeks to ensure a stable revenue to women gardeners and reduce their post-harvest losses, we are developing a linkage between a small-scale processing with a woman cooperative. So for the first test, from June to September, we were able to work just with 2 women products and process in a sampling furniture room the 2 first harvests, around 100 kilo of amaranth and 100 kilo of jute leaves. We sell it as pre-cooked frozen vegetable. We chose the frozen method because of the culinary habit of Togolese who like to eat fresh leaves. And we add the pre-cooked part to add value to our product to make it easy to use for the customer. The plan for the next step is to put the focus on select cooperative as well as the invest in a processing unit, the technical and financial support to improve product quality and expand marketing possibility to the world because of all the African living in other parts in the world outside of Africa. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ruth Atonglo. I'm from Togo. I was a participant in 14 course during the year 2018, and my project's title is New Rice Processing Techniques using the solar bubble dryer and new packaging in Togo. So it consists of buying the rice from the farmers, drying it with the solar bubble dryer, milling it and packaging it into 1, 2, and 5 kgs. So we want to improve the rice performance sector by drying it in the hygienic way and then milling it, and the promotion will be via radio, our local radio, the Facebook, the forum, and viral market. Like we can have a slogan, something like Mime Cha Cha Cha, which means in our local tongue, you have to share it quickly. So we can do something, a small video on it, so that people can share it. So the SWOT analysis, as according to the strong SWOT analysis, we can say that our strength is that we have a market of this rice in Togo, and as soon as people hear that this rice is from this locality, they want to buy it. And our farmers are open-minded, and they have support from the government in terms of production advices, etc. And also the family and neighbor relation is there among farmers and resellers. So it means that the resellers can be maybe the wife of the farmer or someone else which is in the family. So this is a strength. As weakness, we can say that there is no mastery of the concept and geographical indication approach as an intellectual property tool by farmers and state institutions. The post-harvest conditions are also non-hygienic, and there is presence of imported rice at low prices. So the opportunity is that there is notoriety which is recognized by the actor in the sectors, and there is increasing of the demand of this rice. So as trade, we can say that almost we are facing coronavirus, which is a pandemic affecting everything, like exceptionally the value chains in all over the world. But apart from that, we can face the usurpation of the rights. So this is what I want to share with you. Thank you very much, and cheers.
Thank you, Ruth, for the presentation. Thank you, the other four presenters, for your contributions. Yeah, that's a really nice overview of what what the status of your work is right now. And we have 45 minutes already passed in the session, and we have 50 minutes left. So I would say we go on with the two presentations, and then we have some minutes left for discussion. And right now we have no WOFA questions, but to the others, yeah, if you're in the Zoom conference, if you have questions right after the last two presentations of Gift and Solomon, it's also possible that we discuss a little bit. So please write down your questions, and then we have some minutes for the presentation and for the discussion. And now we have at least two live presentations. I wanted to have more, but due to the restricted time, it's now now I invite Gift to present us his poster, and keep it short, Gift. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Bernard. Yeah, my name is Gift Chitambala from Zambia, and my study project is titled Creation of Agricultural Smart Hub, Value Chains to Improve Youth Unemployment in Zambia. And my introduction is Agricultural Smart Hub will be a co-working setup that will set up a network of experts and customers together with a group of autonomous youth to collaborate in three economical sectors, namely agricultural production, agro-processing, using technology to produce the food products by making use of locally available raw materials and labor through shared value and collaborations. And the objective of this project is to make Zambia produce its own food, as well as replace the foreign manufactured goods with locally manufactured goods, and create local employment opportunities, as well as create local entrepreneurs. And then the problem tree for this idea is the low participation of youth in agricultural value chains. And the causes, the factors that leads to this is unfavorable government policies, as well as limited access to credit and limited access to improved technology. All this results into food insecurity, poverty, and low income generation among the youth. And then the possible risks to this project idea I envision is unfavorable government policies and limited access to finance and improved technology. And my implementation steps to this project idea is one will be the construction of this smart hub idea. These smart hubs will be constructed in areas with highly comparative advantage to the specific crops. For example, in the green innovation centers, there are already some value chains that they are focusing on, but what I've seen is that they are mostly focusing on the production aspect. So the smart hub will construct these smart hubs to add value to achieve our objective of replacing the foreign manufactured goods with locally manufactured goods. And then after we identify these highly comparative advantage areas, we opt to install equipment. We have been looking at the equipment such as processing of tomato paste, as well as manufacturing of avocado oil. And we envision to probably import these equipment from Germany because we have good manufacturers there. As well as the next step will be then to start processing and marketing and trading of these end products. Expected costs, smart hub construction, so far, the capex costs, equipment and all these from the construction is about 96,000 euros. And then equipment and technology, about 38,000 euros. Raw material mobilizations, like purchasing of these raw materials for processing of the end products, envision mobilization cost is about 50,000 euros. And then administration cost to run these hubs will be about 15,000 euros in the first year. Expected outcomes: employment creation among the youth, reduced imports of food to achieve our objectives, and then increased incomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gib, for the presentation. And now we have our last presentation from Solomon.
Hello.
Ghana. Hello, Solomon. We will start.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. We will display
Yes,
your poster.
my name is Solomon Akamisi from Ghana, and I'm presenting on the topic improving honey production and marketing in Ghana, an application of outdoor beekeeping model in rural farming communities. The global beekeeping or honey production has been projected to exceed 2.5 billion by 2024. And Africa's contribution to this is quite scanty. They are looking at 7.8, which is very small. Ghana has a very good vegetation. It is projected that Ghana has over 70% of its vegetation quite green and can support beekeeping. However, the sector is challenged with adulteration of honey, inadequate beekeeping tools and techniques. Farmers have challenges accessing finance. And one important thing is that most of these beekeepers or honey producers in Ghana are scattered across the country. Though the sector is projected to be able to produce over 500,000 metric tons of honey in a year, unfortunately, we are not able to even meet a quarter of this percentage. So the objective of this project was to create sustainable employment and alternate income for over 100 youth within the first year of the implementation of this project. The second objective was to promote biodiversity by discouraging wild honey hunting, whilst promoting the use of modern beekeeping techniques in rural communities. And the last objective of this project was to establish and manage a profitable beekeeping project or production system that would offer employment for youth in rural communities by 2021. So in view of this, we conducted a small SWOT analysis of the sector, and then we realized that it had the potential to support honey production, but the sector is also challenged with adulteration and the importation of honey. So with this as a backdrop, we established an outgrower beekeeping model, and the outgrower beekeeping model was to suggest a way by which rural communities could be brought together. And once they are brought together and provided with the necessary training and tools, they can produce their own honey, and in this process, provide employment for the youth in the community and for all those who are interested. This can also be an opportunity for women to engage in a sustainable employment activity. So our mode of implementation for this project, which is what I proposed, was that the phase one will be looking at meeting the communities. Two will be selecting the people that will be engaging with or the interested parties. The phase three of the project was to look at providing them with the tools and the training. Phase four will be managing some of the hives that we provided to see how it is going. Phase four will be to harvest. Phase five will be to market some of this product and then to evaluate the project and see how it is going. The expected cost. If you get the main material, the expected cost will be looking at somewhere around 38,000 euros. And then on the poster presentation, I presented the revenue, the gross margin, and then the variable cost that would be expected for the first second and the third year. We're expecting to see product, women empowerment, improvement of livelihood, sustainable employment for youth in rural communities, because these are our focal points. Reduction in rural-urban migration, because we believe that if employment is provided, then the youth will not have the interest of going into urban communities or traveling abroad to see greener pastures. and then to increase trust for local honey in Ghana, and then community development through providing of jobs. In conclusion, the expectation of this project was that the outgrower beekeeping model suggests to be the best way to bring farmers together to produce quality honey, thus improving the livelihood of farmers in these communities. And the project is expected, it is expected that it will not only bring about financial reward to the stakeholders, but it also comes with social and environmental benefits. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Solomon, for the presentation. So, rushing through this hour with 12 presenters, my program is somewhere not running well, but I hope you hear me. Rushing through this hour with 12 presenters, this tough program. So we have 4 minutes left, and we have a question to Mini via WOFA, and it's I read the question, and maybe Mini can give a short answer. Mini, thank you for your presentation. Can you please tell us more about how the women groups were organized and how the capacity development was conducted with them to learn?
What I was saying is, as I presented in the poster, we are going to start with this step. It is not already done. It's now we are going to start with this step. And since we are running with our own limited fund, this is not done yet. We just make a first test with 2 women of one existing cooperative. So I don't know if I answered this question.
Yeah, it's okay. I think you got it. You got to the point, and maybe you can write a little bit more via WOFA to the questionnaire. Yeah. So thank you, Mini, and thank you all the 12 presenters. And we had today a selection of the graduates from 2018 from the course, 2019 from the course. From 2018, 2 presenters today online, and 19 3 presenters, and 2020 we have 7 presenters. And I hope all this can also be is a possibility also for the alumni to see what was done in the years before. And moreover, I hope that we could show via this platform on the Tropentag what is present or what is produced in the postgraduate course in this years. And yeah, I see we have 2 minutes left. I was wondering whether Famosa from Mali from the 2019 year, he knows the work of Hivot from Ethiopia from the 2018 year, because they are very close in what they are doing, and I was wondering if they are connected already.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Famosa is connected. Good morning, everybody.
Hello. Just a short answer. Are you already connected with Hivot from Ethiopia?
No.
Okay, maybe you can contact afterwards. So this
we are not connected. Okay. Yeah.
So this was something what came up to my mind.
All right.
So I'm sorry for in this format we cannot go into deeper discussion with you, and so I'm happy that we had the possibilities and to present today, and I wish you all the best and a nice weekend, and I hope to see you soon in some of our alumni meetings and or via some other Zoom conferences. Thank you for your presentations and thank you, Tropentag, and have a nice weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.